Okay, everybody, you've got 2 trading days and about 3 minutes left this month to sell in May and go away. But with records still being set, do you really want to take advantage of that old market adage? IHT Wealth Management President Steve Dudash is here. I'm looking, NASDAQ's at a record, S&P's at a record by this much. For those of you on XM, I've got a teeny little index finger and a thumb like holding together. Not by much, but do you sell and go away in May? Because we have headlines galore. We've just turned negative, at least on the S&P.
You know, about a year ago, Liz, I was on your show, and we were having the same conversation about sell in May. And I rattled off a handful of opportunities that were out there, like Amazon and Alibaba and Rio. Oh. And I think the worst of the I think the worst of the bunch did about 30%. So I'm glad we didn't sell in May last year. Yeah. And I don't know if that theory holds true as much anymore. I mean, in the past, the traders would take vacations during the summer, so your volumes are way down. Now everything's quants, everything's robo. They don't take vacations, so I don't know if that adage quite holds on to the same degree.
I'm hearing you say you can't afford it, but let's go to humans and not just bots and high-frequency trading. The president and Congress are pushing for maybe an infrastructure plan, maybe, as you know, a tax reform plan, which a lot of people are hoping for. And depending on the news of the day, the market's going up and down.
I hope we can get the tax reform. I hope we can get the regulatory reform. I think a lot of the Republican agenda on that side is wonderful. I think if the president maybe got out of the way a little bit, it would help. But we've been talking more about maybe what other opportunities are out there instead of just U.S.-centric. We've been saying since the beginning of the year, rotating in May, let's call it, or something better than that, into Europe. I mean, Europe's been outperforming by about 5%. You can get large quality companies over there at a much deeper discount because there's still the concerns of the breakup, which is not going to happen, as opposed to maybe the U.S. market being priced on the high side. Look outside the U.S. and try to take advantage of those opportunities. The manufacturing in Europe is growing. The robotics is definitely growing. Those are where you get your discounts right now, and that's where hopefully a year from now we're talking about making another 30%.
Well, you've got ABB. You also have Total, which is a French giant, and Schneider. Again, these are manufacturing in the oil industry and oil patch names, but I find it interesting, Statoil, too. That's a Russian company. You're not worried about any sanctions that may be held down?
Of course I'm worried about that. But that's part of what they're pricing into the price right now. You know, you've got to factor that in when you're buying into these opportunities. I'm not sitting here telling you right now, go buy Amazon again. It's priced out of the roof. You got to look for those companies that are having rougher times or have some headwind risks if you're looking for outsized returns. And that's why, again, outperformed by 5% since year to date. Not bad.
We're going to put your picks up because you were such a winner. You were, you know, just unbelievable last year at this time. So we'll put them up on Facebook.com/Liz Claman. Have a very safe weekend and a big thanks to our servicemen and women.